Do you think that feminism has killed chivalry?
No. I think corny men have killed chivalry.
Welcome back to the Rec Crew Podcast, the most entertaining podcast on all streaming services. To my far left, I have Isaiah's.
What's up? What's up?
To my left, I have Jesco, and yours truly, I am your ungracious host, Luis. What's going on today, guys?
Nothing much.
You told me you did something this weekend or this week.
I did it for y'all. Even though you guys don't always appreciate me, you don't always love me, you don't show me the support that I've earned and I deserve by being here.
Why do you think that is?
Why they don't appreciate it?
Yeah. What do you think that they're not clicking with us? What do you think is the disconnect?
For the same reason that, for example, people don't realize that Adele's like the best singer ever. They just call her fat.
She's skinny now.
When she was fat,
Okay.
that's when they loved her more. Have you noticed?
Oh.
I don't really listen to Adele that much. Or
See,
pay attention
see,
to.
that's what I mean. You're the problem.
Wait, I don't watch her when she was fat, or when she's.
There is no better
skinny now?
singer than Adele. Why don't you listen to Adele? There is no
I have
better.
heard her songs.
But you should be
Hello?
religiously. Can you hear me?
See?
I've been California dreaming about the life we used to have when we were younger. I'm singing it too well, and I don't want to get copywritten. So that's why I'm gonna stop.
Do you think there's anybody that's better than her, or
No,
do you think
nobody.
She's the goat of singing.
She's the GOAT. At least right now. Like Madonna might be better,
okay. I was about to.
but like right now she's the GOAT.
What
Or
about
Celine
Christina
Dion. Celine Dion. Around
Isn't
those.
Christina Aguilera? Doesn't she have?
Or maybe Christina Aguilera. But I'm just saying those are all. I don't want to call them old ladies, but older. You know. So right now she's the GOAT of vocals,
Okay.
and we don't appreciate it as much. We like all the show and things like. I'm not saying Beyonce ain't great or Rihanna ain't great, but we just like everything that surrounds them. You know, we like everything.
Okay.
And I'm such a simple person. You know, I'm so humble all the time.
You are the least humble person I have ever met. Is he humble?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Isaiah. Thank you.
I feel like he has to say it.
You just don't know me.
I feel like he has to say it.
It hurts that you don't know me. It hurts that you don't know me. But yeah, I don't think y'all appreciate everything I do for you.
I appreciate you.
Thank you, Isaiah. Thank you again. So this weekend, I sacrificed my weekend to watch the Oscars.
Okay.
To watch the Oscars, I sat down, I got my popcorn.
You did this for the people?
I do the same thing I do for the
That's
UFC.
a sacrifice.
I do the same thing I do for UFC fights. I'm like,
Yeah, but it's.
I'm ready.
You're ready for that hit.
I'm ready. I'm ready to give instructions. I'll be like, keep that right hand up, jab straight. You know what I mean? Like, keep it short. Nothing happened.
Oscars are movies, right?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think
Is it
so,
movies
yeah.
or is it songs?
No, that's Grammys.
Ah, okay, so it is movies. Okay.
No, but there's like 100. There's like Golden Globes and there's like
Well, the
People's
Oscars.
Choice and
Yeah, it's movies.
Yeah, I think it's movies. What's the shows? What's for shows?
I think that's like Golden Globes or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, but there's for shows, there's for movies, whatever. I sat down and I watched that bougie thing. Something that I will always be from the hood, man. Like I can't appreciate that. What's that thing, that Met Gala or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Met Gala?
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. I've just
You know
heard
what
of
that
it.
is?
I've heard about it.
What the hell is that?
A gala for the Met.
What's a gala?
A gala is like an event. Like a big party, a big get together. It's like a fancy Gatsby-esque party.
Anyways,
Usually to raise money.
people wear this ridiculous ass like clothes.
Who are you wearing, Chesco?
I'm wearing Royal Vibe Studios. You could find it at Royal Vibe Studios Instagram page.
.com.
So, Instagram.com, yeah. So, like, all I'm saying is, it's so bougie. Everybody claps when you lose. I hate that. When have you ever been competing? The other guy beats you and you're like, hey, happy for you. Never. But they do that. But whatever. I sat down and sacrificed and did that for you guys, expecting somebody to get hit. And you know who got hit?
Who?
My soul. Because I had
I
to
felt that one.
sit there for 3 hours of my life that I'm never going to get back. You know how much my life is worth? 3 hours of my life. A lot. And nobody got hit. Nobody got hurt except Jay McKimmel giving a few jokes about, he gave a nice joke. He said, like, if you feel the need to hit somebody, the Academy will reward you by winning Best Actor and letting you do a 13-minute speech. Yeah, I guess that was funny. But, look, you got to set a precedent. If you know that last year somebody got hit, you know that this year you're going to get millions of viewers. The least you could do is
make it a little exciting.
Tackle somebody or something. Like, do something.
Can you believe the viewership they would have next year if they had something like that happen this year?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Right?
That's going to be like the talk of the town. Like,
They'd
what's
be
going to happen next year?
Yeah, they'd be the closest competitor to UFC.
They'd be the closest. Because Bellator.
That's such a good point.
Bellator ain't
That's such a
doing
good point.
it. Because Bellator ain't doing it. Look, we talked about it earlier. Luis personally told me, if Isaiah gets up and slaps me, and we get 1 million views, I'd be personally offended if he didn't get up and slap me next week. Didn't you tell me?
Like, yeah.
Yeah, like he.
And I would expect those same million viewers to come back for the second slap.
Exactly. Like, and you have to keep that in mind. Oscars didn't keep us in mind at all. You know who won the Oscar for Best Man Actor?
Was it a woman?
Was it?
No, I don't doubt it.
That would be funny.
I don't know. I don't watch that stuff.
I watched it. You know who won?
Oh, was it the guy? The one that played the fat guy.
From Georgia the Jungle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched that movie.
Georgia the Jungle.
Was it good?
No, the one that he
Oh.
he
Oh,
won
that one too.
I'm not gonna lie. Georgia the Jungle should have won an Oscar. I don't.
It was definitely more entertaining than that movie.
What movie was it?
The whale.
What's that movie about?
It's about him being overweight.
They
Not
call him
really.
a whale?
No, it's like it has something to do with like a poem that he goes through, and he's like an English professor or something. But
Is the movie good?
Was it good?
it wasn't as good as I thought it was. But it was like sad.
It
I
was
guess.
that? Why
Yeah.
he dies at the end?
Yeah.
Trust me, spoil it because nobody's
Yeah,
gonna ever watch
his
that.
dad. He's like
I was
he
gonna watch
dies. He's overweight. The guy could like barely move.
His dad or him?
No, he dies.
He died?
And he's like overweight. He could barely like get off the couch, like barely. And then his like daughters and him aren't that close. Or his daughter and him aren't that close, and like she calls him fucking fat shit.
Really?
Yeah, you should watch it. It's sad.
No, I'm not going to. That ain't help. You know what I hate about Oscar?
If it's not a sports movie, he's not gonna watch
It's
it.
true. You know the last movie I watched? Documentary about the
I see
Redeem Team, 2008 Redeem Team, and it was sad because Kobe Bryant was still alive in it. But you know what I think a movie should have is a beginning, a middle, a climax, and an end. Where was the beginning, middle? He started fat, ended fat, right?
Yeah.
See does that sound like an Oscar-worthy movie to you?
Do you think that the whole basis of the movie was about him losing weight?
No, that would have been good. Because you start out
Because
fat,
there's
you
some
end
working
up
out,
skinny.
there's some
Yeah,
stuff in there.
exactly. There's something in there. But you start out fat, end up fat. How is that? And here, Oscar.
Because you're expecting the basis.
He
of the
started
movie
off
to be
alive.
He started off alive, ended alive, ended dead.
There you go.
Great. Like Oscars are trash. Like they don't give good movies. Like Fast and the Furious, one of them should have got an Oscar.
What is the Oscars based on? Or what is winning an Oscar based on? It's aren't you nominated? Don't you win? And I'm asking this rhetorically because I don't expect you to actually know the answer to this.
I'll answer it though.
I'm sure you will. Don't you win by a jury of your peers?
By the Academy, right?
Exactly, the Academy.
I don't think it's your peers. I think there's like
Okay, but so the Academy,
committee,
whatever
whatever.
you want to call it, the Academy is a bunch of artsy people that enjoy a kind of indie-esque storyline. They say that some of the movies that would have won the Oscars have been movies about real life events, movies about the Holocaust, movies about perseverance. So usually movies about the Holocaust, about real world events that have perseverance in them, are the ones that win. That win. I think Schindler's List was one of the ones that won.
Okay, but that again, that's not even. There's no creativity in these movies. Is what I'm saying.
The Whale.
That don't meet your criteria, by the way.
Okay, but it has perseverance in it.
How? What's the perseverance?
He had to deal with his daughter nagging at him.
I don't think that's perseverance.
Nah,
I think
maybe not.
that's called patience.
He died at the end, so.
Yeah, he didn't persevere anything.
Hey, you have to have a lot of patience to persevere through something like that. Not a bully like you. Every week I'm here, you bullying me.
But first
I'm
of all,
persevering.
I'm not bullying you.
What are you doing? Tough love?
Yes, because you deserve it. We gotta make you tougher here in life. Like we gotta.
I do agree.
People gotta be tough in life. I'm just saying. That's why I appreciate all these people that go off on me on YouTube. Because they love me, and I see it. You know what I mean? Okay. So, we just gotta make sure we're very, very. I'm just saying, Oscars. You lost the fan. Please don't lose anymore.
You gained a fan and lost a fan in the same night.
Yeah, you gained it last year. Like, I'm just saying. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
If there was a superpower where every time you got home, your girl could be a different person, you think people would still cheat? Or we could change it and say, if there was a superpower where a woman's man was a different person, you think they would still cheat?
Can you choose who it could be?
Yeah, you could choose. It could be anybody you want it to be.
Does it have to happen?
Say that again?
Does it have to change?
No, they don't have to change.
Okay, so you have the superpower is like when I get home, if I want them to change.
You have 1,000% control. You can change. For example, like say you go to the club, you see that girl that you want, but you don't want to cheat. You get home, you turn your girl into that girl for 20 minutes.
We're talking about another man, right? Because we wouldn't do that.
And would they know that you changed them?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
That's because you don't want to deal with the nagging, right?
This is like if they don't know,
you got nothing to lose.
then it's like it's still cheating. Like it doesn't. I guess like it doesn't really like.
Yeah, they don't know it's cheating, right? It kind of is.
But like you're still cheating, so like I guess like it kind of defeats the purpose.
With that person.
What,
like say your girl name is Anna, right?
Diana.
Anna or Diana.
Diana.
Which one you prefer?
It doesn't matter.
So you get home to Anna, but you met a Diana at the club. You went to the club.
Almost the same name, but not quite.
Yeah. You went to the club, you met a Diana, right? And you're like, yo, Diana's a 10 or a 9 or 8, whatever. It's like, yo, I'll be down, but I don't want to cheat. So I'm going to go home to Anna, turn her into Diana for 30 minutes, do my thing. She goes back to Anna.
I just like.
But do you think men would still cheat? Do you think they would be at the club and be like, yo, I still want this?
I don't think so.
No. You think 100% of men will be like...
Yeah.
Because that would be like saying, I have an open relationship, so...
There's nothing like saying that. Absolutely nothing.
No, yes it is.
How?
Because you're pretty much having an open relationship at that point.
No, you're not. It's the same human being.
But it's not, because you're turning the same person, you wouldn't have to switch them into somebody else.
You confuse me. My question was so clear. And there's a right answer to it.
I think the answer is yes.
They would still cheat.
No. Yes, they would stop cheating.
So there no more cheating. You think men would still cheat?
No.
You think they'll stop cheating?
Yeah. Why? Every time you go home, you can just change it to that girl.
But that's not cheating by a technicality.
No, it's not cheating because it's the same person.
But it's...
I feel like
okay, so...
basically, if your girl put on a wig, it's not cheating.
So let me ask you, are they still themselves, but they just have the body of the other person?
Yeah, sure.
Everything about the body is
mentally
it's
them. There you go.
Okay, then I would say that's not cheating.
I just feel like the question...
They have to...
So to answer your question, yes, they would know.
They would know.
Oh, but they would know.
Then you definitely know. They would have self-esteem issues, depending on, one, how often you do it. Depending on, two, if you use it without their consent. Because you can use it, you can say, okay, boom, now you're Diana. You see? But if you have a conversation with them and say, hey, babe.
That'll be badass. I'm not going to lie. That'll be badass. I was like, boom, you're Helen Keller. You can't talk no more. You're like, if you have that superpower to just change them into any person, you're like, yo, you're Helen Keller. No more talking. That'll be cool.
So, but I feel like if you use it with their consent. Like, you have a conversation, hey, babe, I saw a girl that was really good looking. I don't want to cheat on you. So, do you mind if we turn you into her for 30 minutes? I'm still you. I'm still pleasuring you. I'm still doing things with you. So, if at that point she says yes, then it's definitely not cheating.
Okay, what if does your girlfriend know what y'all are gonna be doing? Like, can she see what y'all are gonna be doing?
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
You just have to be in a house with no mirrors. Because if you turn her without her knowing,
Why else would you turn her? Have a conversation?
I don't know. Whatever you want to call it.
Yo, I don't like that we're not being honest here.
I agree with you.
No,
It's just that you added the part that they know, and now have so many now have so many questions.
You want it? Okay, what are
So let's say like you're my girlfriend.
Okay.
How would the process go? I say, hey, I'm gonna turn you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn you. Okay, so let's say I turn you.
Yeah.
Do you see what we're doing and like you feel it and all that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if guys would still cheat then.
I think guys would still cheat. I think girls would still cheat. I think there is for the people who will. I'm not saying they all will. Cause I'm gonna read a comment that somebody went off on us.
Do you think they would cheat any less? Like the
I think it'll be less.
Okay. Thank you.
But I think the serial cheaters will still cheat.
Oh, okay. But then at that point, they're just serial cheaters.
But they don't know they are.
They usually do.
No, I don't think.
They're not accepting of the title, maybe, but they know.
Yeah, maybe that. But I just think like if you like to cheat, we hate to say it, but there's, for example, we've talked about it here before. Girls like the bad boys, right?
Right.
A lot of girls like
Until they get with me.
Yeah. A lot of girls like the bad boys. So when you think the bad boys don't know they're bad boys, they know they are. They're doing bad things on purpose.
Okay.
There's people and there's women who like men who do that. They have this crazy idea that I'm the one that can change them. Okay. But they do like men who go out there and do bad boy things. You put your connotation to it, whatever you want it to be. But absolutely, people enjoy doing, things that they shouldn't be doing.
Question. Because
Yes,
I'm a big believer in
I have
this.
another question too. Go ahead.
I'm a big believer in this. That I think every guy, no matter how long they've been in a relationship, wants to cheat. They think about cheating.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you.
You agree
And no,
with it?
every
I
girl
disagree.
too. Every girl too. As long as just don't do it.
Right. It
Yeah,
just depends.
it's that simple. I wholeheartedly agree. And every girl too. I think you won't be human if you don't think about it.
But no, there's a difference in finding somebody else attractive versus saying, "Man, I want to fuck that."
No, but I don't want. Not that I want to, but he said you think about it. You absolutely think about it.
Yeah.
You think
think
about
like-
the time that you would have, how great it would be, and things like that.
Even if it's not just like sexual, you just be like, oh, what would happen if we
Yeah.
went on a date?
Imagine if your girl's like, "Oh, it'd be cool to hang out with him." It's still cheating.
So wouldn't that be pretty much the equivalent of porn?
What?
Wouldn't that be similar to like watching porn? Because when you watch porn, like, oh, don't you envision yourself being the person pleasuring the girl?
I guess so. But again, porn is not cheating. I think we've all agreed to that.
No,
Ridiculous people think it's
I
cheating.
agree with that.
But it's the same thing. Yeah.
Clickbaiting. Like, no, that's your stepsister.
Okay, my question. How would you feel if your lady had that power and she wanted to switch you?
Oh no, I would have no problem.
You wouldn't care?
I wouldn't care. Like
As long as you are aware.
as long as I'm the person. I'm the person you're switching.
Okay.
It would be I think self-assured. I would feel self-assured. It would be like, okay, I have assurance that okay, this is what you want. Perfect. Like, would you get it? Would you have an issue if your girl ever admits to you that she's smashing you and thinking about somebody else?
Yes, I would definitely.
Would you?
Would I what?
Would you have a problem if your girl admits to you that she's smashing you and thinking about somebody else?
Like, yes or no.
Why would you have an issue?
Because the intimate moment is between you and I, and if you're thinking about somebody else, then you're not here in the moment with me.
So
why are you here with me if you're thinking about somebody else?
because I can't do that with somebody else.
You know, your mind is already somewhere else.
Yeah,
That to me is a problem.
that's selfish, don't you think?
Absolutely not. Well, and if it is, I don't care.
See, bad relationship, guy. Bad relationship.
But going back to that question, if she switches me, can I switch her at the same time? And then doesn't that...
So both of y'all have the superpower?
Wait, so answer the first one first.
What?
If she was to switch you, would you care? Would you mind?
Not if I feel it, no. If I'm like there...
Yeah, if you're in the moment,
I wouldn't really
I wouldn't have an issue either. Like...
And then I feel like if I switch her at the same time, it kind of takes something away from her because she's not like really the one, you know? That's getting...
This is two different people.
Yeah.
This was pointless. two strangers.
Okay, so now answer Chesko's question. If your significant other was to be thinking about somebody else while you were being intimate, how would you feel?
I don't know. I feel like a part of me would feel bad, but then a part of me wouldn't. I don't know.
Which part would? Which one would?
Which part would feel bad?
Like,
I know what part would feel good.
Yeah.
What part would feel bad?
I guess like you said, like psychology, like this is our moment, but they're thinking about someone else. Like visioning me that I'm someone else.
Do you get to know who they're thinking about?
Yeah, sure. She can tell.
Okay, so what if she's thinking about her ex?
Okay, so there's where we go. We go into intricacies. It depends on who.
Oh, okay.
But it could be somebody else.
What if she's thinking about your best friend?
Again, it depends on who. It can't.
So
be my
basically,
best
it has to be anybody who you don't think she can actually get with. Any actor, actress.
Exactly. It got to be like that. It's got to be
somebody that's so far out of their reach that I'm not even like. Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
I see that.
exactly. There you go.
Okay. I don't. Yeah. At that point, then yes, I do. I do see your point.
See how ridiculous you sound now.
Only because I'm being irrational and I'm thinking that she might be thinking about somebody who.
Then for somebody who's so secure,
Yes.
and they're like, "Hey, if your girl's thinking about it, would you be mad?" Yeah, she's thinking about my best friend. Of course, I'll be mad. No, it's just some other human being like Michael B. Jordan. That would still bother you, huh? I can see it in your eyes.
I'm trying to think about if that would bother me.
I can see it in your eyes.
No, I think I'd be okay with it.
You'd be okay with it?
I'd prefer her not to.
Actually, yeah, I would be okay with it.
Yeah, I'll be okay with it. It's fine with it. As long as I can think about whoever the hell I want to. And yeah, I must say I'm thinking about Shakira when I'm actually thinking about your best friend. I'm not going to say it.
Or your mom.
Say it to the mic.
Or your mom.
That's what I'm saying. Those things are going to... I'm just saying. All right, Luis, what's your stupid question?
Okay, my stupid question of the day. Do you think that feminism has killed chivalry?
No. I think corny men have killed chivalry.
Okay.
More than feminists. Feminists, yeah, but I don't care about feminists. Like, feminists...
Coming from a fellow feminist.
Yeah, I'm the resident feminist. But outside of feminists are just stupid. So, not all of you. But there's a lot of feminists who just want ridiculous things. And like I said, I don't talk to them. So, I don't think they have the power to influence anything. But corny men do. Because the best way I could describe them is like cancer. You can't see who has cancer. Well, sometimes you can, I guess. But like HIV or AIDS, you can't see who has that. You know, it's hidden. You can't see what man is corny until you really get to see them. So it's like there's so things that are so corny to me that women don't want that. Like and they think they do until they see like the real thing. If that makes any sense.
You've lost me, but I'm waiting for you to keep going to see where you go and wrap this up.
What is chivalry? There's things that to me women want a real man, right?
Okay.
Not saying that a real man can't do the small things, but chivalry is such a, I don't know what other words to use, the cliche thing where it's like, what is chivalry? What is, if I open the door for a woman, if I take out her seat when she's gonna sit down, if
Those are part of being chivalry.
those are, and that's where I'm like, those are the things that I think about chivalry, right? And all the other corny things that, for example, people think are this super nice thing, or super chivalrous, or super romantic, or super whatever other word we want to use, gentleman-like, or whatever other word we want to use. When I think a woman wants a man that can protect them, that can protect her. I'm sorry, but not only that, have accountability. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A man that can have accountability. A man that can say, yo, you know what? I messed up. And this is how I got better from it. A man that could lose and learn to win. A man, that's what I'm saying. Those are the things. A man that, okay, I failed, and that helped me succeed. Like, I think that's what, that's more of
I don't disagree that those are all concepts of chivalry. Chivalry is men that live by a moral code, right?
Exactly.
So those are all concepts of it, but also in that concept of chivalry, you do have in the moral code is treating women in certain ways, and I guess that's the part of chivalry that I'm talking about. Because in chivalry, there's also protecting a woman. It's also being there for woman, for a lady, being the provider for a lady.
It's very broad. What is being there for a lady?
Oh, okay. You can make that broader, but you can't broaden protection, right? If somebody is attacking your lady or a lady,
but is that chivalrous?
That's the code, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's what any person, any man with any pulse would do.
But that's what you would think, right? So and I get to it because I say this. I saw a video of a woman that was struggling. She was on the squat and she was struggling to get back up. There was a guy
in the gym. We're talking
in
about?
the gym, yeah. There was a guy literally right there, but he didn't do anything. Because now,
what's the context here? Like, was she trying to?
Like she was
she
stuck at the
working
bottom.
out?
Yeah, she was working out, and she was stuck at the bottom. She couldn't get back up. So, any chivalrous guy would see that and will go up and take the bar off.
But that's my question. I don't think any chivalrous guy would. I think any guy would. I think the worst guy in the world would.
So you would think that. You would think that. But then there are
depends
people
on the context. Like if she's working out and she wants to do it on her own, I guess you gotta let her.
But how do you know that?
That's the question. How do you know that?
So
what if she's trying to do it on her own and you go mess it up for her?
And I think that's where feminism has, to a point, killed chivalry.
How?
Because before you don't ask questions, no matter what, if you think a woman is struggling, you go and help her out. But now, if you don't, now if you see her struggling, and you do, she's like, I have it. I can do it on my own.
But let me. That's I guess. But I hate to sound like ET here. If a man was struggling with a bench press, you go help him out too, right?
I would.
That has nothing to do with chivalry then.
No, because chivalry.
Let's go with humanity. Like,
okay, right.
Yeah.
But I think a guy would be more inclined to. I think a person who's second guessing chivalry, because I would help the guy out or the girl out,
exactly,
with the consequence of getting cussed out by the girl because maybe she has it, right? I would do it either way, but there's some guys that would second guess helping out the girl, but would not second guess helping out the guy.
It happened to me today. There was a girl carrying. It wasn't super heavy. It was nothing big, but you just ask because I guess it's manners.
Right.
She saw it. I'm like, you good? She said she was good. All right, that was it.
Right. That's you, right? There's people who have not lost their gentlemanly manners. Gentleman. Yeah, I would say that's chivalry. I think that's part of being chivalrous.
Question, and this is probably like going off the topic. It probably not even relate to anything. The question, but going back to earlier, you think what Will Smith did was any type of
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. That's what I mean. And that's what I'm saying. Is that would to me before be considered chivalry. And there's a lot of things to me that would be considered chivalrous that is like, come on, man, it's all fluff. It's empty.
But even by your example, right? Your example was you saw a lady that had too much, or
and
that
from
had
my
a lot.
perspective, that's empty. That's an empty gesture, honestly.
Okay, but if she said, "Yeah, can you help me?" You would.
I would do
help
it,
her.
yeah, but
Right. But there are guys nowadays that, because of either they either don't want to be misrepresented as misogynistic for trying to help out a woman who definitely has it on their own, or for the second reason that.
But you know what? I think what your
forgot the second
question
reason.
your question kind of leads to where I'm going. If you're a man who lets feminism control your actions, I'm sorry, there's no other word for you than you a bitch. Like, I'm sorry.
Beta.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care what a woman feels like at that moment, or anybody feels like at that moment. I'm gonna go and hey, you need help? You don't? If she could go off, whatever. I'm doing what I felt like I had to do at that moment.
Okay,
And-
so I'll go back and I'll even, I hate quoting ET, but I'll quote ET, right? There's a lot of things that we were taught as young boys that are being taught differently now to young boys. So what we saw as normal might not be normal to them. And to them, the normal thing to do is to not ask because a woman has it. Why would you demean a woman by asking her if she needs help?
Who's being taught that?
Kids nowadays.
They're being taught wrong.
I know. I think you and I would both agree. Yeah, Sayers would probably agree as well. But there's generations under us.
But us
that
applying,
have-
I think the only problem here is applying a gender to it. I think that's the only problem, and that's where I mean I don't care what feminists.
Well,
think.
no, but you have to apply gender for it. If you saw somebody carrying a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
and if it was a guy, would you be less?
Yes,
inclined?
I would help.
But would you be less inclined or more
No,
inclined?
the same
No,
inclined.
I would.
It would like if he's carrying a lot of things. I think we do it here all the time. Like we can all make 3-4 trips from one room to the other, but if there's no women here when we're doing that, we help because that's just what a man does.
I think you say that now, but if you go to a Home Depot and you see a guy carrying something heavy, and you see a girl carrying something heavy, you're gonna be more inclined to ask the girl, "Hey, do you need some
the
help?"
same thing, like one thing.
The exact same thing. If I'm carrying something heavy, or if my lady's carrying something heavy, you're
No,
gonna
that's-
ask the lady before you ask the guy.
I don't think I'll ask either. Like honestly,
But you would be more inclined to buy that logic too. What would you do?
What was the question again? Sorry.
Would you be more or less inclined to ask a girl versus a guy?
Probably more towards the girl,
Exactly.
but I feel like me being the human being
You
I
would
am,
ask either
I would
way,
ask
right?
anyone.
that's my
But-
point. I go back to what Isaiah's is saying. I wouldn't ask either unless I see either struggling.
Yeah,
That's what I mean. Like I wouldn't
looking like
ask-
they're struggling.
Exactly. If I see either struggling, yes, I would ask. Like, if I see her struggling, yes, I would ask. If I see him struggling, yes, I would ask. Like,
So just like for another question, and just because I feel like my knowledge isn't all there on this topic,
Yeah.
like where we work, right? Without going like too specific,
Yeah.
we work with boys and
Yeah.
girls. At the end of our particular stuff,
Yeah.
we sometimes we'll ask the boys to carry,
yeah,
but we've never really asked the girls. Is that like being like chivalry or whatever the word is?
Chivalrous.
Chivalry.
yeah, I guess so. And honestly, it's more on liability than anything else.
Mhm.
That really, it's more.
How would one be more or less of a liability?
No, it's just like what social construct there. Like it's like when you see the higher ups do it, you go by what they do.
Okay.
I don't know if it's right or wrong. It's just you work in a company, you do what the higher ups do. It's
So, by that same logic, it goes back to my point. Like, there's some of the things that you have learned are different than the things that maybe some kids are learning nowadays.
no, but the same way we do is how we learned. The same what we do is how we learned. And again, we don't go into deep specifics. I never had a conversation with anybody that says if you see a woman struggling, you help her. You just kind of know it innately. But again, it goes to a point. You see a man struggling, you help him innately.
And I completely agree with that.
And
It's
that's what
just
I mean.
being a generous
If I
per-
see a girl carrying a 50-pound
bag of whatever,
bag of sand and she seems comfortable as hell, you let her keep walking. If you see a guy carrying a 50-pound band of sand and you see him struggling, you help him.
I agree with that.
It has nothing to do with the gender, like, and that's what I mean. And I don't think that's us being like disrespectful to women, or I don't think that's being. But yeah, there's this thing that yes, men do. For example, if I'm with my woman, I'm carrying it.
Do you think that we are in the minority or in the majority?
A majority. I still believe. I don't think that's changed. I really don't. And I don't think. I doubt that you put a percentage to it. If a man and a woman go into a convenience store, I'm sorry, not a convenience store, a hardware store, and they buy a thing that costs weighs 20 pounds, which a woman could carry 20 pounds. All right, he's still gonna carry it 90% of the time.
Correct. And I agree
And
with
I don't.
that.
That's what I'm saying. But I don't think that's what a man, or he's chivalry, or he's chivalrous, or he's a gentleman, or he's nice, or he's this or that. No, that's just what you do.
We should have a lady to touch on this topic to see if they've experienced any less chivalry than expected in certain situations because of maybe the male fears retribution from the female. I feel that like the female perspective is missing in this situation.
It can be, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really care much for it. I don't. I really don't care.
For the sake of the argument, for the sake of the conversation.
No, because I don't argue with stupid shit.
No, obviously.
I don't.
No,
Like,
I get that. And we do not consume ourselves with the opinions of people that don't really matter.
Yeah,
Okay.
like I'm telling you, I don't argue. Like I've said it. I think I said the joke here once. It's like my girl's like, "Am I a good cook? Yes. Do I look nice? Yes. Can I fly? Yes. Go jump off the roof." Like, do what you want to do. At the end of the day, it's like I'm not gonna sit here and argue with nonsense. I won't do that. I do it here because it's entertaining, and it's funny, and we all know it's in jest and it's satire.
But okay, by that logic, for the sake of the argument, for the sake of the conversation, and getting an actual more in-depth analysis on that conversation, on that topic.
None of the words you just said are in jest or in satire.
But it's an analysis.
You know what I mean? you know where they go. That's what I'm saying. Like, none of the words you just said coexist with those two.
Do you think that there should be a lack of gesture and satire in a conversation like this?
No, I don't. I really don't. If you think, that's what I'm saying. I don't mind feminism. And in feminism, to the extent that if he's working the same amount of hours you're working in an office inside of AC, and he's sitting on the desk, you're sitting on the desk, he gets paid and a quarter more than you should be pissed. I agree with that. I don't think, and I don't care what.
Then that brings up a different conversation.
Yeah, that's part of feminism, right?
Agreed.
Some feminists feel that way. I agree with you. If you do the exact same job, exactly the same way, and he gets paid more than you, that's wrong. And I don't care how you or him feel about it. I'm not gonna argue with him or you. I feel like that's wrong.
Let's get into that topic. Do you feel like the seniority has anything to do?
Seniority? If I've been here longer?
Yeah.
I think it could. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that you had the same, or the other person, whoever's getting paid more,
regardless
male
of
or
gender,
female, yeah,
regardless of gender, yeah,
has any right to be upset?
Yeah, you have the right to do it. Yeah, you can feel however you want.
Has the right to demand more?
No, you can't demand it.
Okay.
Like, it depends. Again, if you come and if Sally comes and, hey, Luis gets paid 50 cents more than me. I'm like, yeah, but Luis been here 2 years longer than you. That's in my opinion, an acceptable why.
Okay. So, but let's say the retort back is, yes, but I do exactly the same. I've been here for a year, and he's been here for 3 years.
Yeah.
I do the exact same things that he does at the same level with the same efficiency.
Okay.
Why does he get paid more than I do?
For the same reason, when you've been here 3 years, you're going to get paid what he does. And the woman that does the same thing that you do a year earlier, or when you've been here 3 years and she's been here 1 year, she's going to get paid that. You're going to get paid this. Now, we don't have to love the way it works. It's just the way it works. As long as there's an acceptable why.
But I think that's too simplified. Because I say that rhetorically because I have my own answer. One, that person has showed loyalty to the company. I think loyalty should be what do you call it? Rewarded. You don't know what's happened in those last 3 years that the other person has had to step up or not step up. That person can help out in deep waters where I've only known your work ethic during calm waters. So there's a lot of different factors that go into play than just that one of seniority.
No, not only that. There's a business ladder you go through. It's
sure you can talk.
Yeah,
you can go by the business ladder.
That's what I'm saying. But if I think that's where I'm like, I'm not with feminism. Like, there's an answer to your question. You don't have to like the answer. But as long as the answer makes some sort of sense, you can like it or hate, love it or hate it, as long as the answer's there. Now, if there's a much different question. It's like, I've been here a year. He's been here 6 months. How come he gets paid more than me?
Okay. And it happens.
And that's
happens.
where I'm with him.
So that happens.
Yeah.
And that happens because it's happened to me before, right?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. It happens because the person coming in has a leverage.
Yes.
So, at that point, I have two questions. One, at that point, should you get paid more than the other person? If I come in, I'm getting paid, let's say, $10 an hour. I've been working here for a year.
Hold on, we're talking about everyday society, normal jobs, right?
Yeah, I think $10 an hour is a.
No, that's what I mean, because it changes. If you're in a professional aspect, you get paid what you negotiate, right?
No, I agree. Exactly.
So that's,
and I think that's where I'm going with this, right? So, one, if I'm getting paid $10 an hour and I've been here for a year, and you just come in maybe 6 months ago and you're getting paid $11 an hour,
and
at that point, should I be getting paid $10 an hour, $11 an hour the moment that you start? And is it up to the company to go ahead and give me that raise because they gave it to you?
No, of course not. And unfortunately, that's how society works. But that has nothing to do with gender.
I agree with that.
So
and that comes to my second point. There's a study that says that women get paid less because they're more agreeable in the workplace. Where men, on the other hand, they're less agreeable. That means that they negotiate for higher salaries.
I don't know how true that is.
It's a study.
Yeah, but there's a bunch of dumbass studies. The flat earthers have studies. Like,
it's a psychological study. Yes, and you're right. You can say that about anything, but then at that point, you can't disprove or prove anything if you're going by that logic.
That's what I mean. Absolutely. I trust very few things. You know this. And
But
I'm not going by that stupid ass study. Why? Because I'm going by my eye test.
that goes along. It doesn't have to go along with genders. You can put males and males and other males. The ones that are more agreeable will get paid.
But it depends on what jobs they do.
No. We're talking about the exact same
No,
job.
but that's where I'm saying, and that's the problem. Men and women don't do the exact same jobs. So when you go and you do
what?
they don't do the exact same
They
jobs.
do. But we're talking about in situations where you and I are both a cook at McDonald's, or you and I are both a.
Yes, but the percentages change when you actually brought it. Why? Because most nurses are.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the overall percentages of jobs.
That's why when you bring in studies, you're bringing people who do different jobs.
But no, but this is specifically a study of somebody who's doing the exact same job.
Let me tell you this. If you work at Target, McDonald's, Walmart, if you're a man, woman, animal, cat, dog, you ain't negotiating. You're taking or leaving what they're offering you. There's no negotiation.
So, let's talk about this. Because you can always negotiate.
Not there.
They don't have to agree with you, and they don't have
won't
to hire
agree
you.
with you.
I think you and I are both agreeing.
Yeah.
On this. But there are jobs that you can negotiate.
Yes. And who does those jobs?
Let's talk about a banker.
Okay.
I used to be a banker. The skills that it needs you have to be a banker are not past high school level.
Uh-huh.
I know I've gotten paid more than male counterparts.
Okay.
Because I have negotiated for more.
But yes, your window, there's a certain window. You would accept that, right?
Window of what?
Of ceiling. in that negotiation when you're a banker.
Oh, and everything there's a ceiling.
Depends
right?
on what kind of level you are and all that. Absolutely, that's a different job where you can negotiate. And at that point, what are you mad at? If you're man or woman, like what are we talking about?
The fact that the person coming in is getting paid more than the person that's been
But
here
if
for
they
a while.
you negotiated what you wanted.
I agree.
How are you mad?
So let's say I come in, I'm getting paid, let's say, $10 an hour.
Mm-hmm. But that's where you lose me.
Okay.
Those jobs don't negotiate. You know what I mean?
I was giving it a random. I'm getting paid $35,000 a year.
Yes.
As a banker.
Okay.
And the next person that comes in is getting paid $36,000 a year.
Yes.
If I was to negotiate for those $36,000 a year, they'll say no.
Okay.
Why? Because the company knows that there's no leverage.
Yeah.
So why would the person that just came in get paid 36 for the person that got 35?
Because of the leverage. We know this.
So you
that has nothing to do with gender or feminism or anything.
The only way to lead to get paid more is to threaten to leave.
No, it's not threaten. It's
but at what point do you start rewarding your employees for
no, it's not that. It's
loyalty.
Never. Loyalty means nothing in business. I'll tell you this right now.
I disagree.
No, nothing.
No, I disagree.
Loyalty means and I'll tell you. You know my situation.
Loyalty means nothing, but
in business.
But it should.
Why?
If I stick with you,
we've always said it. We've all agreed. Business and personal is different.
Loyalty
is personal. Loyalty is personal.
But
People said
I've been,
and they say this in NBA all the time. They said in the NBA, he gave 12 years of his career to that team. How do they treat him like that? He didn't play 12 years for free. That team paid him every single cent for those 12 years. That's what I paid you for those 12 years. You didn't give me loyalty. Loyalty now is different. If I'm like, hey, I've been here for 12 years and I've never charged you. You've never paid me. That's different. That's because that's not business. If you're not, I'm not paying you. That's not business. That's personal.
No, but turnover rate has a lot to do with how much you pay an employee. It takes twice.
Yes, but again, it's all business. It's business. You've been here with me. You've done this. You've gone through trials and tribulations. You earn a little bit more.
Right. So loyalty has a cost.
But what do you call it? Loyalty is time. Like the longer you're here, the more you get paid. Like or else you could leave, and they don't want you to leave. Like if you're not gonna stay at a dead end job.
Yes, but that we're talking about companies do not value loyalty, and loyalty we'll talk about tenure. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Like, do you consider tenure loyalty?
Absolutely.
Why?
Why? Because the longer you
has no productivity results. You think you've been there that long because they're loyal to you, or you're loyal to them? No, because of your results and what you've been able to produce. It has nothing to do with your loyalty. And
look. You expect no loyalty from the company.
Yeah.
Right. I think we're all agreeing with that.
And the company expects loyalty from me?
But companies should value loyalty.
Why?
Because that means that they have to pay less for you right now than to train somebody else to do the same job you're doing.
And that's where I disagree. Why? Because if a company comes and tells me, hey, I'm paying you $10, and that company over there comes and tells me I'm paying you 11. I'm telling you, hey, that company's paying me 10. Now, I may stay, but it's not going to be because I'm loyal to you. It's going to...
Yeah, you're missing the point. Your point. You're seeing it from the employee perspective. I want you to see it from the employer perspective.
Okay.
How they should value their employees. Some of their employees, they have tenure.
Define value.
Money. Pay more.
Okay, yeah. We agree with that. Where does the loyalty come in? Because, again, money to me is business. It's not loyalty.
Right. So, the person who's been there 3 years should get paid more than the person who's been there 6 months.
Depends. That's not true.
For the exact same job.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes. In a situation where somebody comes in, they have negotiated higher salary for whatever the reason is. Let's say they have the exact same experience, but they've negotiated a higher salary.
Yeah, but Luis, there has to be something behind that. It wasn't just a negotiation. It was that person brings me something that this person doesn't.
You would think that, but it's not always the case. Majority of the time, it's not the case.
Then why wouldn't I go bring somebody or keep this person, or bring somebody else who does it at a lesser cost? Then that's just bad business at that point.
Say that again.
Why wouldn't I bring somebody that does it at a lesser cost, or keep this person? Because again, I'm creating
necessities. A company goes through turnover periods or turnover times or turnover. They go through turnover where there is necessity in hiring people.
Yeah, but I have plenty of people to hire from. I have a pool normally.
Yes, normally.
Why would I bring a problem on myself? Because if I know I pay this person, they're doing the exact same job. That person knows less or the same. Why would I pay them more? Because I know this person is going to ask me for more.
It could be a lot of different things. It could be that the pool that you have right now is not as good as you would want it to be.
And I'm going to pay them more?
You pay more because you have the necessity to fill the job. Because
so you're talking inflation and things like that.
There's a lot of things that could go in.
That's different. Again, if it's actually, I went to McDonald's the other day. You know, McDonald's supposedly, minimum is still $7.25, right?
Yes.
Find me a job that pays $7.25.
There's not many.
There isn't one. There isn't one, and that's what I'm saying. There's somebody at McDonald's probably getting paid $10 now. The minimum.
Walmart, I think, is 15.
It's like
Amazon's definitely
right
15.
now. I stopped by McDonald's and they're like, you start at 11. It has nothing to do with what you're doing. It has to do that there is no other job that pays 11. Every other job is paying 11. There's no other job that pays 10. I can't pay 10. They won't take the job. That's more has to do with the economy and inflation and things like that. And that's how it works, unfortunately.
But wouldn't you? Because you lost me in that. I understood what you meant, but I think that took away away from the conversation.
Look, if you've been working here at McDonald's for a year, and when you started, you were making 10, but in that year, the economy changed. There's no other job that starts you at 10.
Okay.
So I can't offer 10, or else I won't be able to hire anybody.
Okay.
I have to bring my minimum up.
Correct.
That doesn't mean I have to bring you up. And that sucks. Yes, it sucks. But why? Here's where the leverage matters. If you don't pay me, I leave. Unfortunately, I can find many more like you.
We're talking about, okay. So if we're talking about simple jobs, I agree with that. Because that pool of candidates.
Well, banker's a simple job.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
Banker's a simple job. But the pool of candidates gets a lot smaller than the pool of candidates for a fast food restaurant.
Yeah, but small enough where you don't find anybody?
You'd be surprised.
So what's your conversation here?
So
what's your point here?
They paid this person, the person that just came in, and they're investing all these resources. Because to hire a new person, it usually costs you double than it would to hire. Maybe it's not double. Maybe it's like 1.5% more than it would to go ahead and keep this person at a higher salary. So,
though the number has to matter there, right? How much higher of a salary?
match the new person that you're hiring on.
So you're saying that a lot of companies are just firing in people or like, what are you saying here?
All three of us are working.
Yeah.
He quits because he is doing something else. Maybe he wants to work on his own. Maybe whatever he wants to do. They have to fill his spot. Now they hire somebody, and the person that they hire negotiates for a higher salary. Negotiates for a salary $1,000 more than you and I. You and I have been an employer for, let's say, you work for 3 years and me for 5 years.
Okay. So what's the problem here?
Now you and I, let's say
you're saying the company should come to us.
I'm saying the company should value their employees and value it by giving us the same amount of money that this person who they're just hiring, they still have to train, they still have to invest resources. And
so you're saying the company should give him his money and then come to us and give us more money?
Yes. To value this is why companies frown upon people talking about their salaries.
Absolutely.
Because now, if you know that he's getting paid $1,000 more than you, you're going to come up to the manager, whoever that might be, definitely not you.
I don't think you're looking at this as a capitalist.
No, if you see it from the business's perspective, yes. I don't want you to know what he's going to make if he's making more than you.
No, what I'm saying, no, not that. I've always thought if people do that, that's smart. Now the thing is, you got to deal with jealousy, and you got to be able to know where you stand, and you got to be able to be like, okay, you have to be able to admit that, yo, he's better than me or she's better than me. That's a different conversation. But I would never expect for anybody to give anybody anything, whether it's a company, business, person, nothing. And that's basically what they would be doing. They'd be like, all right, here, take an extra $1,000.
Do you feel less valued?
No, I don't feel anything. No, I don't. And then at that point, like I said, luckily I'm in an industry where you leverage is big. And if you build a market for yourself, you have multiple suitors, and yeah, you leverage them against each other. And they don't get mad at you for doing that.
Here's what's going to happen. And I've seen it happen multiple times at different companies. When people do not feel valued, they leave. The more people that leave.
As they should.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
The more people that leave, the more turnover there is, of course, because that comes by definition.
Yeah.
The more money the company is going to have to invest. So a company should value the people that are here.
You don't think companies do? Like, and this is what I think companies do. And I feel like a company looks at you is like, what am I losing if he or she leaves?
You would think so.
You don't think so? You think they just get rid of people? It depends on the job we're doing again.
No, but you're thinking in a position where companies are doing the firing. This is a position where people are leaving voluntarily.
No, but they leave voluntarily. Why? But the company let you leave. They could have kept you. If they really wanted to, they could have.
You're thinking too simplistically.
What do you mean? Why did you leave? Because of the money. Let's be honest. It has nothing to do with the loyalty.
Okay, let's say it starts with the money. Let's say one person leaves because they're getting a new job and they're moving across country.
Okay.
You can't compete with that.
No, you can't.
Okay.
But
so one person leaves.
What? Yeah.
Now you have to hire somebody else. The person you hire is getting paid more, $1,000 more than the person you already have.
But you can't prevent that.
You can't.
Okay.
But now the person finds out.
The person that left?
No. We're in a situation with 3 people, right?
Okay.
So he leaves, hires somebody else. Another that looks exactly like him, sitting right there.
Yeah.
He's getting paid $1,000 more than you.
Okay.
So you're saying, nah, I don't want that. I'm going to ask for more. They're going to say no. You're not going to get paid
No,
more.
at that point, they got to decide.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you're not going to get paid more. And you go, okay, well, then I'm going to go ahead and go somewhere else.
But that's where you got to stop. Don't you think the company is assessing that situation?
What is the situation?
That
there's a possibility
this person came to ask for more money.
Mm-hmm.
We're here. We're like, can we lose this person? Productivity. The money we're going to have to spend on investing, is it worth it? Is it not? Do we want to keep them? You don't think they assess all that?
Let's say they do.
Yeah.
But
and then they make their decision. Like, and that's where business, if you're going to say I'm leaving,
if the person comes,
that's where leverage comes in.
If the person comes, as I said, if the person comes in and says, "Hey, I want more money," if there's no leverage, no matter how important this person is, majority of the time, they're not gonna get it because there's no leverage.
I'm not sure about that. It depends on what that person is bringing into the company, what that person means to the company. And I don't blame a company if like I'm paying you 10, I'm paying you 10. And you gotta be honest. A lot of times companies do this. You're like, you're paying me 10, you're paying me 10, you're paying me 10. You eventually go ask for 15, and they give it to you. You just didn't ask for it. Like
there are those situations.
Those situations exist. So that's what I'm saying. At that point, if you have no leverage, you have to know your productivity.
But that goes back to the situation that you're assuming that they're going to go ahead and give you that raise.
No, that's what I mean. I agree with you. Leverage is big. I'm not. But I don't see why the company is wrong here.
Do you think that a majority of the time that people ask for raises, they get raises?
Without leverage, no.
Without. Okay, so that proves my point.
No, but why should they?
And I agree.
So what are we discussing here?
That you're saying you should just go ask for more, and then they'll go ahead and give.
No, if you have leverage, go ask for more.
Okay.
No, and another thing, you can go ask for more every Thursday if you want, but one thing is going to go ask for more and saying I'm leaving. Another thing is going to ask for more. They don't give it to you and you stay. Like, those are different things, right? So it's like, yeah, if you want to go ask for more every Thursday, you can. And when they say no, if you go sit your ass back down, that's cool too, I guess. But I'm like, if you have leverage, yeah, go ask for more. Now, there's some people who are willing to bet on themselves. If you're one of those people, go ahead. And that's where leverage doesn't really matter at that point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's where you're like, I think I can make more on my own. So I'm going to leave this.
Correct.
That's different because leverage doesn't matter at that point. I'm leveraging against me. I'm sorry, against them with me.
Okay.
But they're not going to see it that way. Or maybe they will. Depends on the situation. But yeah, I think you always get paid what your market is. You're not get paid what you think you're worth. You get paid what you are worth. And that's what I'm saying. We're talking about banker, a situation where I think everybody gets paid around the same thing. Now
there are so many other things that go into the valuation of an employee, and you have to, yes, you have to see the efficiency level.
Of course.
You have to see the productivity level.
Yes.
You have to see how much are they bringing into the company.
And that's what I say. They assess the situation.
You assess that situation.
Yeah.
But there are other factors that I feel should be considered as well. 10 years.
Intangibles.
Exactly.
Yeah, but the problem with intangibles is they're exactly that. They're intangibles.
I think that the morale of the company, should this person not be here, is definitely is something that should be considered. I think that that time that you've been here with the company,
I think it is considered. I honestly do think it is.
Okay.
I just think people overvalue what they are sometimes. I do. A lot of people think the morale without me will be bad. No, it'll be fine. We'll figure it out. Like, and I think that's how companies look at it sometimes. They're like, would it suck that he like, yeah, it'll suck, but trust me, we'll be fine.
But
and
after this person leaves because you didn't value that person, 2 or 3 other people leave. You think that's just a price?
But I think there's a problem with I didn't value that person. No, I didn't value them how they value themselves.
Wait, say it again.
I didn't value them how they value themselves. I did value them.
You think they overvalued themselves?
Exactly. I did value them, and this is what the value was, and I was able to go up to this, and that's how any negotiation works. Even when you're the person or the company, I'm not willing to take under this. I'm not willing to go over this. You meet somewhere in the middle, hopefully, and that's how you get paid, right?
There's a point where one of the two are playing poker, or both of them are playing poker, and one of them is bluffing.
What do you mean? No, yeah, and you're always in the middle, but you know what your line is. You know what your line is. You're not telling that person the line, but you know what your line is. It's like Luis is gonna come and ask for more money. I'm gonna offer him 9. I'm not willing to go above 12. And that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, I'll give you a situation. I had worked at a specific place for a period of time, and I had asked for a raise.
Mm-hmm.
They said no.
Okay.
I'm not going to get a raise. I told my supervisor I will now be searching for outside employment because I'm not getting what I want to be getting here. So they say, okay, well, let me talk to my manager. And they come back, and I give them a figure of $40,000.
Okay.
They said, no, we cannot meet you at $40,000. We can't give you a raise because of this, this, and this. You're going to stay at the same price. Fine. I'm going to keep looking for my job. Now I find my job somewhere else, getting paid X. And now they're going to say, okay, you're going to get $40,000.
Okay.
I would not stay here at this company. I'd rather go to the other company at $40,000. Let's make a lateral move for $40,000 than stay here at this company.
Okay.
Because I see that this company didn't value me before I asked for the raise, didn't value me when I asked for the raise, didn't value me when I came back and I said I'm going to be looking for outside employment, only valued me when they saw that they were going to lose.
Okay, what's your point?
That plays a role into the sentiment of the employee and valuing the employee.
Yeah, their person. How you felt personally.
Exactly.
Nobody cares about personal.
But that makes they should, because if you're losing an employee to exact same position at another institution,
Yeah.
for the exact same price, then you have a culture problem.
What's a culture? That's where I disagree. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do that, obviously, because I wasted time and I wasted money, and I agree with you. But again, to me, it's personal at that point, and to me, I would have stayed or left.
And I think you said it is personal.
And you know me, and I've always said this. When it comes to business, I don't put personal in it. Feel how you want to feel, as long as we produce, and that's what it is. If you want to make a lateral move, because that's a risk you're taking, which you should.
Right.
If that's how, if you feel that strongly about it, if I feel I can't work in this environment, whatever, do it. But at that point, it's like, that's not a win-win situation. That's a risk situation. Neither side is losing. Neither side is winning. Both sides are taking a risk. You're taking a risk that this thing is going to be better in the other situation. And the company's taking a risk that this next employee is going to be better than this employee.
Who do you think is taking the higher risk, though?
The person, obviously.
I disagree.
How? The company has millions of dollars. They could go through 10, 11, 12 employees and be fine.
Your risk is, I won't work for the same company that I worked with.
No, your risk is that I could go over here, not work out at all, and now I have no job. And that's my livelihood. This company is risking what? A few $1,000s?
Yeah, paying more
Which,
people.
when they have millions, who's taking the bigger risk?
Okay, this is in a situation where you think the other company's not going to work out.
But you don't know that. If you're making a lateral decision, you don't know that.
Don't you think that people will do the research?
It's still not enough. It's still it don't matter what it is. When you start a new job, there's no guarantees ever.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, like there's no guarantees ever. So yeah, the person is taking the bigger risk.
All I'm saying is that people leave more often, not because of pay, but more because of the way that they are valued. If they feel they're being undervalued, then they're gonna leave a position more than if they feel they're being valued. And you can measure this in a lot of different ways, right? You can measure this the value of the employee or how they feel valued, and I don't know, this might seem silly to you, but some people feel valued if they are recognized. Some people feel valued if there are company events. Some people feel valued if there is a certain
Look, I would agree with that. I agree with that. I don't disagree with you on that. But I do think that kind of shows. People say that. I don't know if you ever heard of this. You ever heard you're not going to find I don't know what was the word, like a nice lawyer or a good lawyer. You're not going to find a decent lawyer. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
You're never going to find a decent lawyer, meaning as a decent human being. If you're a lawyer, you have to be cutthroat.
Okay.
That's the job. The job is to save a murder or to lock up somebody, right? Those are the jobs.
Correct.
You're talking about ending people's lives.
Right.
So a lawyer has to have that in the back of their mind. That's a mentality that some people have and some people don't. And I'm going to be honest with you. The people who have that mentality, if it's like, it's greed, I'm here to win, I'm here about mine, it's about me, my family, and I. Right? Mm-hmm. Those people don't care about company events. They don't care about culture. They don't care about friends. They don't care about any of it.
But I think you're talking about the minority right now.
Minority of what?
Of employees.
Maybe. But, yeah, I'm talking.
And those people are more likely to have self-owned businesses. Those are people that are more likely to be the employer than the employee.
But those are the dangerous people. Those are the people who will cost you real amounts of money. Those are the people
who are going to be more likely to be employers over employees.
No. What do you mean? No, there's a lot of employees. Like a lawyer is an employee.
But usually work for themselves.
No, they work for a firm most of the time. They make a whole bunch of money for a firm.
What if they own the firm? Like my uncle.
That's why one owns the firm, and then they have a whole bunch of lawyers. Like the majority of people are going to be working for the firm. One owns the firm, or a couple own the firm, right? And then they have a whole bunch of lawyers.
Yeah.
But that's still the minority. You're talking about the amount of cutthroat people that are out there versus the amount of people who want to be valued, because those people do not care about being valued.
You think those cutthroat people aren't valued? They forget wanting to be. They are valued
because they're cutthroat.
Exactly.
But that is a minority. If you put a pool of 10 employees, 100 employees, the number of cutthroat employees is going to be in the single digits.
Yes, but here's what I think. Companies, they want that one cutthroat employee. Why? Because that cutthroat employee will make them so much money. And not only will make them so much money, they'll be willing to pay them that much money. And that's what I mean. There's the difference. It's like, if the cutthroat employee is fighting against the employee who's not cutthroat, he has the advantage.
Do you think that one employee is going to make you double of what some of the other employees are making you?
Triple, quadruple. I do.
What if you're in a situation where they are in a sales role or in a role where they bring money in?
Sales role? Like, what are we talking about?
We're talking about, okay, sales. Like someone who's going to bring in money.
Absolutely.
What if that person is not in a sales role? What if they are in a back office role, in a non-customer facing role?
I don't think they'll be there for long. And that's what I mean. You can see that. Like, I know stories of people who started in the middle. I'll take you. Shout out to Angie. Angie started with me, making no money. Mm-hmm. And Angie may make more money than me this year. Angie's cutthroat. And she ain't looking back at me. Here, take some. Not as she shouldn't.
Yeah, I don't.
What I mean is like, and trust me, those are people who start in mail rooms and they work their way up and they go and they network and they do the extra mile and they're not fighting over $1,000. Like, they're not. And if when they go to the company, and we won't talk about it in the podcast, but we've had conversations with some people here, right? Mm-hmm. Of what. It's different. It's a different mentality. Like, if you want to do something, yeah, be smart when you take a risk. But I'm not saying morale doesn't matter. I'm not saying culture doesn't matter. I'm not saying that stuff doesn't matter. But I don't think there's dollars and cents to it. If you
don't think that?
No, I don't think that it's preferably. I would love it if I have both, but I know which one I'm prioritizing. I don't know if that makes sense.
Money.
Yeah, absolutely. But I would want it, and I want to build it. But we have conversations here, man, of like, who we get along with and things like that, and who we're super cool with and this and that. As long as everything works here, we're good. Mm-hmm. Everything else is extra. You know what I mean? But as long as everything works here, it's good. Like, that's what I mean. Let's move on. We're gonna have to cut this.
That's a long one.
Yeah. I'm trying to find it here. I think somebody went off on us. Thank you for your comments. Thank you very much. I'm gonna play the TikTok that. And the reason, and I think here it goes. 8 out of the 10 guys are gonna do it. I would say most of them. And the reason, and I think a lot of the reason why men cheat is because we're horny fucks. And what's better than new put? That's not true. That's not true. Mexican men don't cheat. Not true. I've never heard that statement, and I can wholeheartedly disagree with it. Not true. Okay, but I'll go to this extent. He said 8 out of. All right, so that was basically it. So what happened? Then some lady really went off on us, and let me see if I can. Her name is. She went on a few AFK Space. Thank you very much, lady. You got fans in us. First, she said, "Nah, they weren't raised right. He just said 8 out of 10 guys act like a 5-year-old when they see a new shiny toy. New toys are cool. I don't care what anybody says.
I saw that comment.
I don't care what anybody says. New toys are cool. Mm-hmm. But, damn, there's so many. Let me see. I got to find hers. Oh, no, it wasn't her. But that was her. She went crazy. And then some guy named Bucko, 3434, hit. 8 will cheat. Where did that come from? Because it's a lie AF. Only 20% of men cheat. A study back in 2017, and it was a sad 13 for women who had jumped 7. Now, let me ask you a question. You think all those men went and said, yeah, hey, I cheat? the one from that study. You think that study was the only study with 100% honest men? And that's why I told you about your dumbass studies. See, stop studying, kids.
Okay, you can't disprove every single study just because you don't believe in studies.
Like 20% of men said they cheated. Oh, the other 80 were absolutely honest.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, so at what point? Maybe this is a stupid question. Another
Hold
one.
on, there's more because he went on. Nearly 40% of females alone since 2017, which ended up somehow when comparing men and women cheat. They are now somehow both 20%. There is around 3.9 billion men in the world, and divide that by 794 million, which gives you 0.2. That then take that decimal and move it over, making it 20%. That's not 8 out of 10. It's 2 out of 10. So no, I'm not part.
Well, that's to say that's 20%.
I guess so. I can't do all that math. I'm not apart from the cheating. Only time this is 8 out of 10 might be in America, but not over the world. Good job, though. Good job, because we got him in. Oh. But what do you think? Thank you for the comment.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you have any sort of opinion, please let us know. Please
like, subscribe, and keep commenting.
What do I think about what? But
I don't know.
The accuracy?
I don't know.
Yeah, what do you think about what?
That 2 out of 10 men cheat. First of all, this study. That's the dumbest study ever created. That is the study. Do you agree with me on that? That has to be the dumbest study that ever existed.
Any study where you expect people to be truthful in their responses are subject to that truth. Like there's studies you can make where you can actually measure certain things, right? Whether it's
studies are pointless because it's always such a small pool compared to what you're actually comparing it to.
No, but you can do large pool studies.
Like what, 200?
Yeah, no, there's studies of 1,000 over. And
you think that's a lot?
How did they study for vaccines? How did they study for all those medicines? They have to go through.
But those studies matter.
Okay, now those do matter, huh? Why? Because they're measurable. What do you want to study?
No, yeah, because you can find out if the person died or not.
Oh, so but that goes back to my point. Any study that is subject to the truthfulness of a participant is gonna have its outliers, right?
Okay.
Based on the truthfulness of the participant.
No, like all the studies that say that women get paid less. Obviously, like I could have made that study. I didn't have to study it to know it. Like men do jobs that pay more.
If you're looking at the overall spectrum, yes.
Yes, that's simple. Like, of course they gotta get paid more.
Yes.
So
I agree with that.
I didn't have to go through a study to know that. Like,
but for the sake of arguments, for the sake of debate, for the sake of conversation, in order to make a point, you have to have things like that in order to be able to make points.
No, because then there's people like me who say studies are stupid, and then
that
person who got the study has nothing to argue with. You know what I mean?
But like taking studies out of it, you see how some people would make a case about something based on their life experiences. Do you think that's like, I guess, correct? Or like, do you think they should do that or no?
That's not correct, but you know what? Because I think they should do that because there's passion involved. When there's passion involved,
make them right.
It's entertaining.
That doesn't make them right.
Look, nothing's ever right, but you gotta be entertained.
But you think like there could be like, I guess some like a point to that, like
the truth is like when you start arguing and there's no right answer unless it's 2 + 2. You know what I mean? And
when you start arguing about opinions, you'll never get a right answer. Yeah, opinions.
But you know who wins? The people who can entertain themselves with it.
Yeah.
That's why I always win. Why? Because I can make it entertaining, right? Yeah. I can have fun with it. Would I argue? Like, I would only argue with a feminist on here. I would never argue with a feminist anywhere else.
It has to be part of entertainment.
It has to be part of entertainment. I'm not going to waste my time. We had a conversation about what? I don't know, but we were talking. I think you were here. We stayed here till 3 a.m. one time. We were having a weird conversation about something. And I'm like, I'm not going to argue with people outside of this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Outside of this. If you tell me, He gets paid $6 an hour. I want $7. I'm gonna go ask her. I'm gonna quit. You know what I'm gonna tell that person? Go ask her quit. that's gonna be that.
A sign of advice to me.
That's as far as our conversation is gonna go. And it's like, what should I do? You should go to ask her quit.
Those the only two options you have.
Those are and
Or do nothing and then start complaining.
if you think of a third option, do that. Like, there's no. I'm not like. I think some people like get triggered by outside things and like that. You like the only thing I tell people is be honest with yourself. Look in the mirror. Am I this good? Am I not? Am I making this mistake? Am I not? Am I worth this? Am I not? Surround yourself by people who will tell you the truth. If you always tell people, you always tell your people, hey, good job, Luis. Hey, good. Hey, am I a good wrestler? Yeah, you're great. Go do this. Am I good at this? Yeah, go. And then you go and wrestle somebody for real. And then you get ragdolled. That's where I'm like, people need to have like self-assurance. Like, people have to be able to actually like tell themselves the truth. And then believe whatever you want to believe. Now, just don't kill nobody. Just don't hurt nobody.
That's not too much to ask for.
That's not too much to ask for. Don't hurt nobody and you'll be fine at the end of the day. Like, is that crazy? Just go do you. Don't hurt nobody in the meantime and we'll be good. I don't think that's crazy to ask.
I absolutely agree.
Now, women. Let me talk to women real quick. All right? This is for women. I think they should go for men like me. You disagree with that? So fine. It's fine. Don't interrupt. This is important. All right? You disagree with that? Should be men like me.
It depends on what is like you.
Me. I'm like me.
Oh, no.
Why not?
Look at you.
First of all, good luck. Swipe right. Second of all, you have to, somebody who can tell you the truth, can tell themselves the truth. I know a lot of my flaws, but you got to be okay with them. You know your flaws, you're okay with them. And then, last but not least, rich. Somebody who's rich, right? That way you don't have these problems. I'm getting paid this, I'm getting paid that. Rich. When you're rich, you can throw away money. Like, hey, if you don't come here, I'll fire you. I quit.
But if you date a guy like him, be prepared to be gaslit to the max.
Do you know what that word means?
It's like,
that word is not true. That word is not real.
See, that's what a gaslighter would do.
That's what women
Try
say.
to make you believe something that
yeah.
isn't true.
That's what women say. That I'm not a gaslighter or whatever that is. I'm not. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Who was it that called me a gaslighter?
I've called you gaslighter
No.
many times. It was Paige called you. Agreed with me.
Paige from Adult to Schwein's podcast. Go subscribe. Go listen to it. She hurt my feelings. She called me.
You don't have feelings to hurt.
She hurt my feelings.
Don't
I'm
pretend
hurt
like you
to
do.
this day. She called me a gaslighter.
But you don't know what it is.
You say that it's somebody who makes people believe things that are not true.
Correct.
I've never done that in my life. Everything I say is 100% honest.
You're a good spinner. I'll give you that.
How am I a
You're
spinner?
a great spinner.
I tell you things that I just have different perspectives. And I never give my opinion here. I just give both sides. So, you know, I'm a fan of Paige. Again, go subscribe to Adult Schwines. But
Would love to have you back.
yeah, but she hurt my feelings, and I'm hurt to this day. That's all I got to say about that.
I've never met somebody that could actually affect your feelings other than family.
Why? Saying I don't have you ever seen my feelings hurt?
No.
Thank you, sis.
No, I've never seen
Thank you.
feelings hurt.
No, but yeah, I was hurt that day.
Oh,
I was hurt that day.
he's hit it really well.
Yeah, I just have a good poker face.
Gotcha.
All right, anything else y'all want to say?
No, I think that's
That's it.
good long podcast with today.
No, we're gonna cut this because here's the problem. Can I talk to you guys this real quick?
Yeah.
Help me out here. I love Luis. Luis, my boy. I love him.
Uh-huh.
This Luis.
Yes.
That's
All
what
right.
you.
Have you ever had a friend that was just boring? and you do anything you can to make them more, you know, entertaining, and it just doesn't happen. You try and you try and you try. It just
I feel like I'm that friend that's boring.
So I have two.
There you go.
I was trying to get him to help me out. I guess not. All right. Make sure to like, subscribe, share us, comment, keep commenting. You know, I could be abrasive every now and then. And feel free to call me any name you want. As long as you subscribe right after you do that. All right. Thank you. Please. Peace.